Good evening, everyone. My name is Margarita. I'd like to begin by asking this question. Do you know what Down syndrome is? And if you know a person with this disability, maybe a friend, a neighbor, a relative? Well, I can answer that question because yes, I know what Down syndrome is. And yes, I know a person with this disability. It happens to be my baby. It was about 18 months ago when I had no clue as to what this disability was, and I did not pay attention because I didn't know anybody close to me who had this disability. I was going through the pains of labor. My head and body were aching. My my head was sweating and dripping with sweat all over. Finally, I got to hold my baby. But then my doctor comes and tells me, "Your baby's not normal." I then felt like a freezing bucket of water falling upon my head. I went in shock and I did not know what to do but cry. Finally, she came close to me and told me, "You're not alone, Margarita. There's other parents that are going through the same thing as you are." She goes, "I'm one of them, whether you believe it or not." I felt relieved by her words, and I felt very comfortable about this situation. I was able to stop crying. I had many questions in my mind that I wanted to ask. Well, Down syndrome is like a vacation a parent is trying to plan or has planned for a long time. And finally, that day comes when this vacation date arrives, and you come to this place, you travel to this place. But instead of arriving to the place you expected, you arrive in a totally different place. This is what Down syndrome is. How Down syndrome is diagnosed? Well, Down syndrome is diagnosed either by two ways, either during pregnancy or shortly after the baby is born. This diagnosis can be done by a simple blood test. After the baby is diagnosed, there are many challenges that come with this disability. The most common ones are the heart, the eyes, and the hearing. There are kids that have a smaller nose, an almond-shaped eye, a larger tongue with a smaller mouth, a single palm crease in their hand. These are just some of the symptoms that a baby has. These symptoms may vary from one person to another because everybody is different and unique in their own way. For example, my baby was born with a heart murmur. She has a murmur, and this murmur is healing by its own. Some kids are not able to heal on their own and they have to have surgery. Some kids have hearing loss. They cannot hear right, they cannot speak right, they cannot see. Some of them have to wear glasses. Some of them have a poor muscle tone, which does not help them at all because they cannot walk as fast, they cannot do many things that normal kids can do. But they can reach their goal as to walk, to talk, to see. Now that you're aware of these symptoms and the disabilities that come with the child with Down syndrome, we can go forward and talk about how a parent feels and reacts when they find out that their baby is diagnosed with Down syndrome. One of the first reactions I had as a parent was denial. I could not believe it was happening to me, to my child, to my family. The next thing I felt was guilt. I could not believe that this was happening to me, to my family. And I thought it was something that I had done through my pregnancy that led my child to have Down syndrome. I talked to my partner. I discussed my emotions, my feelings with him, and we were able to come to an agreement about the situation. You should not be afraid to show your emotions, to talk to your family. This helps you relieve yourself and get over the guilt and the denial. The next thing I felt was fear. I felt fear of the unknown. I did not know what was going to happen to my child the day of tomorrow. The next thing I felt was disappointment. I felt disappointed because I did not expect a child with Down syndrome. I was expecting a child that was normal, just like my other children. I was very emotional and I cried for many months. But then I was able to find help through a social worker. She was able to connect me with help, first with a nurse, then with a speech therapist, and now with a physical therapist. I am coping with them to fight this disability with my child. I have also found some other resources, like other parents. I found brochures, but the most important thing is that I found help. I was able to talk to other parents who are going through the same situation as I am. And so this has made me feel like I'm not alone, that there are other people going through the same situation as I am. And I am very confident about my child because she is now starting to walk. I know that there are many challenges that my child is going to go against from what I heard from other parents, but I know that she will be able to walk and talk someday, even though she's going to have a difficult time, but she will get there. I hope that this was informative and that now that you know that anybody can be born with this disability. I had never imagined having a child like this, but now I see her like a miracle that is living in my home. I feel that Rosemary is an inspiration to me and my family because even though she is sick and she is going through a difficult situation and many challenges, she puts a smile in her face. And this smile helps me and tells me that even though that life is challenging, we can overcome our fears and we can make the most of this life. Thank you.